Welcome to the Hotel California. Such a lovely place, such a lovely place, such a lovely face. Plenty of room at the Hotel California.
What's going on, guys? Thanks for tuning in to another episode of the JC Build Series. As promised in the last video, this one's going to be a little bit different. Actually bringing you along to San Francisco to meet with the gym designers that are designing the new gym. Over the next couple days, I'm meeting with Steve and Brad with OptiFit Solutions, as well as Gym Design Group. I'm going to take you along the ride with Steve, Brad, and I. The next couple days, we're going to be touring the ultra luxury gyms that they have designed in this area. Today we have 3 planned, 2 gyms and 1 Pilates studio. And then tomorrow, I believe we have 2 gyms planned. So it's gonna be really cool. I'm gonna get to see a lot of different pieces that we're gonna have, and I'm excited to meet Steve and Brad for the first time. They also provide these really cool, ultra realistic, like 3D renderings that like will literally to the inch be exactly where the equipment will be. We'll be able to show you the exact colors, the exact brands, and I'll be showing you all that in the next few weeks. Probably shortly after this video gets released, you'll get to see that. Pretty cool, because the last 2 years of what's been up here and what I've envisioned, I can finally like see it on a screen and get to see the looks on people's faces when they see it for the first time. Side note, as you can tell, I'm wearing a sling. Since the last video, I had a mountain bike accident and messed my shoulder up pretty bad. I tore my CC joint and sprained my AC joint, as well as sprained my rotator cuff. Currently, it's non-surgical, depending on how it heals. I don't know how it's gonna affect my half marathon training. I'm hoping not too much. I hope that I heal fast and maybe only take a couple weeks off and it doesn't make a huge difference, but fingers crossed on that. But yeah, this is definitely a new type of video. I'm not used to doing this, so bear with me. Excited to take you along for the next couple days in San Francisco and show you more of an insight of what you might be able to see in Johnson City.
Last thing I remember, I was running for the door.
Okay, so a lot of footage that I got, the audio wasn't the best, so a lot of this video will be voiceover. The first gym that we went to was LUX Gym. They actually hadn't opened up yet. Their grand opening was in a couple weeks. That first piece is a booty builder standing hip abduction. We'll be getting that. Favorite thing about this gym was definitely the aesthetics, the black walls, the LED lighting. Obviously had a lot of good gym equipment. This was my first time meeting Steve and Brad. They've been in this business for a long time. They had a lot of knowledge about gym equipment, layouts. Obviously, they've worked with a ton of different brands and really been able to try different stuff and see what the best of the best is. This here is a Lyco Smith machine, the same Smith machine that we'll be having. We'll also be having all Lyco bars. They're all super good quality. The next stop was Rise Pilates. It's actually Steve who owns OptiFit's Pilates studio near downtown San Francisco. It's the same reformers that we're going to be having at the Johnson City location. They're balanced body reformers, very high quality. We'll be having a total of 7 reformers. I believe they had 9 here. It was nice to see a reformer studio in person, because obviously we don't have a lot in our area, so had to go that far just to be able to see one. The third stop was fitness therapy. Really liked this gym. It was the first actual gym that was open that we stopped at. A lot of Atlantis equipment. I'll be having a lot of Atlantis equipment, a lot of Arsenal, a lot of prime pieces, Panada. It's really hard to find some of this stuff, especially the Atlantis in our area, just because there's no other gyms that have it. So it's pretty crazy to have to go all the way to California or Florida or New York or Texas just to be able to see some of this stuff in person. I like the vibe in fitness therapy a lot. Had a really good group of people. It was more of like a private studio vibe. These dumbbells are the Intech dumbbells that I'll be getting, Intech hybrid dumbbells. What I was spinning there are the self-leveling centerpieces, so no matter where it's at on the rack, it's always, the logo will be upright. Very cool, and just the quality of the Intech dumbbells over something like a UMax is just totally different. I didn't think that I would notice a big difference in just something like a dumbbell, but actually feeling it in person, I did notice a difference, and I'm sure you will too. Here I am talking about the dumbbells. I'll be doing 5 through 125 pounds with half sizes in between. We did a poll on Instagram voting on which type of logo would go on the centerpiece, and overall the Star Fitness without the star is the one that won it, so you can kind of visualize a little bit how those will look. Next up was some cardio. These are matrix treadmills with the slat belts on them. As you can see, they have a little more of a grip texture. If you ever used an assault runner, it's kind of the same situation, except it's electric. Way better for running, way higher quality than any other treadmill I've ever been on. Built to last, obviously a lot more expensive than, a normal commercial treadmill, but a treadmill like this should last 15 years. It's got a lot of response whenever you're running, a lot better grip, just an overall really high quality piece. You can see there next to me is the Woodway treadmill. It's similar to the Assault Runner, just a little more high quality. Also be having one of those downstairs in our functional area. Next up, we went upstairs to look at their functional area. These wellness mats on the wall just blew me away. The high quality of them, they were so heavy. I added that to the order actually after looking at those. We started talking about my turf and the orientation of it, and the width and length. My turf compared to the one that you're looking at here is a lot wider and a lot longer, but the same brand, and mine was a little bit thicker of a material. They call it the Beast material. So we're just kind of talking about the orientation of my turf and all that good stuff and what you'll eventually see on the renderings. I also wanted to make sure that I had everything that I needed for a train for a high rocks. It's something that I would like to eventually do, and it's growing in popularity in the United States. So that would be a rowing machine. That would be a place to do the ball tosses, obviously be able to run, and do sled pushes, stuff like that. So I wanted to make sure that I had, all the abilities to be able to do that. Here we're talking about this one machine. This is the Atlantis pull-up assisted dip, similar to what we have at the Elizabethton location or what you've seen at other gyms, just very beefed up compared to other ones that I've seen. This is Atlantis's horizontal leg press, similar to one that you've seen in other gyms, just like I said, on steroids. Ton of different angles and adjustments. Can go as light or as heavy as you want. Very thick grip on your actual foot plate. Super smooth. Actually, first time I had seen one in person. So we visited all 3 gyms. We had 1 Pilates studio and 2 regular gyms. Really cool atmospheres. Learned a lot from it. Got to see a lot. Hopefully you all did too. About to head to dinner. It's like a 3-hour time difference, so pretty tired. And the arm situation isn't helping, but got to get the food in. Definitely not on a diet tonight.
Good morning, guys. It's day 2 in San Francisco. Gonna do a little sightseeing before we head to the next couple gyms. And I don't know about you, but I'm a 90s kid, so one show that I watched a lot when I was growing up was Full House. So what I'm about to show you, you'll probably really recognize. These are the painted ladies.
Whatever happened to predictability? The milkman, the paperboy, evening TV.
So our next gym was Club Evexia. This is definitely one of the more high-end gyms that I've ever been to. Their membership is like $300 a month, and they have a waiting list, and I think they have close to 2,000 members. For whatever reason, I only got vertical footage here of the gym itself.
but it's similar to what was seen in the other gyms. A ton of Atlantis equipment, Intech dumbbells, some really cool stuff, custom grip plates, and a very similar design to what mine will be. Obviously, OptiFit designed this layout, you know, so your dumbbells, your benches, and your big 12 station cable crossover is in a similar area. The next area we went to is their co-working space, which I thought was really, really cool. It's basically like an area where, you know, members can come that work from home, or, you know, they can do a lot of work from this space. This space here was a kind of like a relaxation area. I really liked the co-working space because I like the idea of being able to have, you know, your members to be able to use the space, you know, for more than just working out. To be able to actually use your space to work and to network and stuff like that. It's pretty cool. We'll be doing what I'm calling the Star Lounge. It's a little bit smaller than like what a Club Evexia has, obviously, but it's similar vibe. I'll kind of like a recovery area and or workspace. So, you know, any member that works from home or they just need to get some work done, they can bring their laptop in and get that done, you know, simultaneously after their workout or their recovery session or whatever they need. This is the owner of Club Evexia here, Warren, kind of giving me some tips and taking me through a little bit of how their process is with their relaxation area and their workspace. Overall, a really cool place. They also had a Pilates studio with reformers and a sauna area, infrared saunas, typically what you would see in a recovery area, cold plunge, like a little massage chair pod. Really cool place. Currently on the way to the Golden Gate Bridge to check that out, and we're in an Uber that doesn't have a driver. It's like a self-driving car. So as you can see, there's nobody driving, and it's just got the route programmed in here. It's pretty crazy. Alright, so currently walking over the Golden Gate Bridge. Don't know how much you can hear me. My original plan was to run over it because I'm training for the half marathon. Obviously can't do that, but we're walking over it. So I guess that's the next best thing. I think it's 1.7 miles one way, so just under 4 miles to the end and back. Pretty crazy though. Definitely is a lot bigger in person than like in movies and stuff. I don't know, you just have to see it, but it's definitely pretty crazy.
Same as always. So keep your seatbelt fastened.
Okay, so the last stop was Somofit. Actually got some really cool ideas here that I previously hadn't thought about. This Vista board here is so cool. Definitely going to put one in the gym. You'll see it eventually how it works and you'll understand. I really like the slat panel walls here. So I originally was just going to do some in the reception area of the gym, but I'm actually going to add these paneled walls like this into the actual gym space, similar to how they have it here behind the dumbbell rack. It just, I don't know, it just looks so luxury, high end, really lightens up the space without, you know, taking away from the, you know, seriousness of the vibe of the gym. Their equipment here was all white framed, which is exactly what I'm doing. I'm going to be doing tan upholstery, except it's darker of a tan color. It's called buck suede. It's more of like a brown camel color. So you'll eventually see that in the renderings as well. I don't know. It's just so much different than doing like your typical, you know, black upholstery that you see everywhere. It just, I don't know, to me, it looked a lot more luxury, high end, unique, different. And I still haven't found a gym that has one. So I should be pretty one of a kind there. Here I am talking about the Alico racks. Really, really high quality. Probably the most high quality racks I've ever felt or seen before. We'll have something similar to those in my functional area, where you can do, you know, cable work. You can do different variations of pull-ups. You can obviously do anything as far as like squatting, deadlifting, benching, stuff like that. So a lot of different uses with those Eleiko racks. The cool thing about the Atlantis equipment is most of it, like the upper body stuff, converges, and I don't know, it just hits a lot different than something that doesn't converge at the top. And I just really like it, especially their pin loaded equipment. I'll be having a lot of that along with the Arsenal stuff. I have a ton of Arsenal planned, mainly plate loaded equipment. Here is the same racks that I was talking about for the functional area. As you can see, you can store all kinds of medicine balls and kettlebells, and you have the spot there in the far left corner for ball throws. It's right next to the turf, which is similar to what I'm doing. My turf is actually going to be very similar to the size of this one. Mine is just a little bit wider, but the length of it is very similar. It's about 20 yards long and about 10 or 12 feet wide. Again, these Eleiko racks are just so cool. I've never seen anything like it. I customized, how many pulleys I have and, how many racks I have for storage and stuff like that. And I just feel like this is one of those things will get a ton of use because, no matter what type of training style that you have, there's a ton of uses for it. Similar to this fit bench here, as you can see, it's like an incline bench that has dumbbells and kettlebells built into the bench, where you could do, incline presses that are not seated. It's more standing up, which is different. This is the Booty Builder glute drive. I will be having one of those along with about every other piece that Booty Builder makes. I'm going to have a women's only section on the top level. They had a really cool recovery area, cold plunge, sauna. We'll have that as well. Actually got my order in directly after this visit for the cold plunge and the saunas. I think recovery is very important, and I want to be able to incorporate that in the Johnson City gym.
Okay, there was a little gap there, but ended up going to Napa after San Francisco to just kind of relax. Shoulders started bothering me pretty bad. Toured some vineyards in Napa, stayed in a pretty cool hotel, had some good dinner, but really just relaxed after the business trip of touring the gyms. But yeah, thanks for tuning in to this video. It's definitely different than what we usually do. I hope you liked it. Let me know. Just make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. As always, we appreciate you watching. See ya.